So let's get right into this article by Front Office Sports. And I just find it really funny how the players are crying wolf about, oh, we want a higher revenue share that pay us what you owe us. And the league is saying to the owners of these teams, why don't you go ahead and send arbitration offers to the free agents that don't have a contract, that need to get paid, and especially players who aren't playing unrivaled, they're uncertain about their future. Even the rookies coming to WNBA, they're wondering, are we going to get a deal done so I can get paid as well? And the funny part about this whole situation is, let's just say you have a player out there who's making $100,000 and she gets an offer of $800,000 from the owner. She's going to go, you know what? Get the deal done, Nafisa and Brianna Stewart. I wouldn't be surprised if these players who are looking to get big contracts have these offers on the table, and then the owners are going, well, this is only going to take place if we get a new CBA done and you now enjoy a higher pay. And it'll be funny because those players will go, Fee, Brianna, you represent the players. You're not helping us right now. And they're going to put pressure on the players' union. It's just a great tactic from the WNBA because while the players are playing checkers, they're playing chess. So obviously, it's not going to go through, the offers because, you have the CBA no longer in effect. But it's going to be funny to see them wake up to an email or a contract offer and go, you know what? I'm still getting a raise. It might not be what the players at the top want. However, it's something. And I find it hilarious how the veterans of the WNBA are complaining about the revenue share when they don't truly understand this business model. Remember, the NBA gets their share, so do the investors, and the WNBA takes what's left. And if you're trying to separate yourself from that business model, that's what you should focus on. The way you get to that point is focus on the product itself and see what's wrong there. When you aren't growing as a company and you're not seeing the results, it's the product. It can't be other factors because your product just isn't that good. So when you watch some of these games of WNBA, what does it remind you of? Well, we see a bunch of refs just not controlling the game and calls not being made, whether it's on the Indiana Fever or it's on a piece of Collier or somebody else out there that isn't getting a whistle when they should have the call. And it feels like rugby at times or football. And fans of the sport are going, yeah, I didn't sign up for this. We should just be playing basketball. And they still haven't got this under control. Now, as I said, when the clock struck midnight on Friday night, the third deadline negotiations between the WNBA and the WNBA MBPA for a new collective bargaining agreement will have come and gone with no deal. The league's not going to turn into a pumpkin, but negotiations will enter a period of status quo. That means both sides can continue to negotiate while maintaining the conditions of the current CBA. Under U.S. labor law, the WNBA has a status quo obligation to allow the sending of qualifying offers under the expired agreement. A moratorium, a legally authorized period of delay, could be agreed to by the union and the league, resulting in the complete pause of all free agency activity until a new CBA is ratified. So we know that it's no longer going to take place in the new CBA. With no moratorium yet in place, WNBA officials spent the past 2 days calling general managers and executives from every franchise to tell them that the status quo period means they can send out qualifying offers for agents beginning on January 11th, sources told FOS. That is funny to me. They're telling these franchises, you know what, why don't you go ahead and just give them an idea of what money they could be making? And we don't have a CBA in place yet. Why don't they see a little bit more in their pocket? That's going to start moving the needle maybe a little bit. It's going to make the players union look really bad because if we see any complaints from any players out there about, yeah, they're holding this hostage and Visa Collier is all about unrivaled, there's definitely a conflict of interest. I think there is. It's going to get really funny and absolutely hilarious if the players are divided. And then at that point, they have to come back to the league and say, okay, we'll just take your deal and move on. It would be very telling to see what happens. So in a statement late Friday night, the union said that the league and owners have remained committed to undervalued player contributions, dismissing player concerns and running out the clock. And the WNBPA accused the league of delaying and clinging to the status quo, which it said was jeopardizing livelihoods of players and trust and investment of fans. They don't care about the fans. I don't care what they say. They could care less about us. They're all about themselves and getting more power. And they live in this fantasy world about, oh, we should share revenue. And they still don't truly understand how this business model works, all in the name of preserving regressive provisions that no longer belong in women's basketball. And of course, we know the league released a much shorter statement. And under the expired CBA qualifying offers, including core designations, which grants teams exclusive negotiating rights to a player under the tag, could be sent out no later than January 20th. However, these offers would all be subject to the terms of previous CBA. And without a real salary cap, no one's going to sign anything. They might not, but if they see a higher salary, they're going to go, look, I'm trying to make my money. You guys are holding things back. Breonna Stewart, Nafisa Carter, they can say whatever they want. They're just very, very misled. And we know about the free agents competing on Rival, which tipped off a second season this week, and expect to sprint through free agency once a new CBA is in place. You won't be able to go places and visit. Cleo Copper said on Friday at opening weekend on Rival, you have to make a decision like that. For me, I feel like it'll be rushed. I wouldn't want to make a rushed decision. It's just crazy because they're gonna have to fill these arenas with some type of events. If there's no decision being made, man, it's just gonna get really nasty. I feel bad for a team like the Golden State Valkyries because the fans showed up for them, had support. They sold out arenas because Golden State is a basketball city, and I feel like you're just doing them dirty, in my opinion. So, yeah, and here's what Hamby had to say. And this year, we're going to not feel it right away. Obviously, as it gets closer, I think it just speeds everything up, which actually might be more fun. Free agency will move a lot faster. The expansion draft will happen first. So, yeah, you got to figure out that because you have to get these new teams in, get it all set up. If the league has any delays, like if it doesn't start on time, I think it's going to really hurt their brand. You're going to lose more fans. And then if you try to get them back in the middle of the summer, while football is right around the corner, this league might be cooked. It might be done. And the players have no one to blame but themselves. So I'm just going to be very curious to see if we have these teams and franchises that sends these offers. And let's just say it's going to be a nice little raise and more money in the players' pockets, how they're going to respond while negotiations continue or may not continue. And maybe they'll put pressure on Stewie and Feed to just get an agreement done so they can play basketball. And here's the thing, with Project B around the corner, you could make a nice chunk of change at WNBA and go out and make 5 to 10 million with Project B. According to reports, they have a lot of money invested in that league and you'll be fine. But players just don't in the WNBA are just a joke at times and they can't be taken serious. Not all of them are this way. We know Caitlin Clark wants to still play in the WNBA and other players as well. But these vets, man, they got to go. They're the old era and the old media as well. They're just for themselves, in my opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts about the owners of the WNBA sending out offers to free agents. And how do you think that would play out? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.